Charms are the most sought after and some of the most expensive items after the Armory update got released. But there's an issue. Nobody really knows what they should actually be worth and which patterns are going to maintain value. Today, I want to try and give you guys a better idea. This video is sponsored by Skins Monkey. If you've been looking to trade out your old boring skins for new ones, Skins Monkey is the place. By clicking the link in the description, you'll get a 35% deposit bonus when depositing with cash and crypto, and up to a free $5 bonus on your first trade. So be sure to click that link. Skins Monkey also has the freebies tab where they run 24/7 giveaways that are completely free to join with crazy skins. And if you're looking to actually get your hands on some good skins, Skins Monkey is the quickest way to do it. So be sure to get that free $5 and 35% deposit bonus now, trading your CSGO skins with that link at the top of the description. So for starters, I've said in a couple other videos that we didn't really have a way of differentiating or finding a good way to get the prices of different patterns. Thankfully, on Buff, the site that I talked about in the other video, you could kind of get a better idea now. The system definitely needs a bit of reworking, but you could at least sort by color. With these semi-preciouses, you could see, I think the purples are a bit more expensive, but it doesn't help out that much. I mean, the greens and the blues are both base value, so it's kind of hard to say. But the thing is, just the color purple makes them more valuable. So that's a start somewhere. I believe the actual patterns for these, or I guess the templates you need for a purple semi-precious are 80,000 to 100,000, like give or take. That's what I've seen all of these listed at. But for the other patterns like green, I don't know why they did it like this, to be honest, because I wouldn't even consider these really green. The green ones, or the emerald patterns as everybody's called them, are super close to pattern template 0, or I guess 1. They're as low as you could get. Well, all these like mid-range ones, or even like 25,000 plus, these are going to be market value. So I don't know why they sorted it like this. As we could see, when we get a bit higher prices, we get some actual green ones. Like this one's 11,800. That's pretty green, but a 24,000 isn't as green. So if you unbox a charm, don't just go on Buff and sort it by green and be like, oh, that's mine. It's heavily based on pattern template, and typically the lower, closer to 0, or higher, closer to 100,000 pattern templates are worth a lot more. And that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. Now, this varies a lot between a lot of charms. And I want to say, I haven't even looked at the price of this. I'm going to look at the price after. Because, for example, there's rare patterns with every single charm. For, I don't even know what this one's called. Hot Wars. The Hot Wars charm. Technically, the pattern's closer to 0, you get way less rainbow. The pattern's closer to 100,000, you get a max rainbow. But, like, for something like this, sure, it changes on the back as well. But it's like, I don't really see people overpaying for something like this. Now, when we get super extremely rare stuff like this pattern ID 1 little SAS charm, and if you guys don't realize how rare that is, once again, there's 100,000 different pattern IDs for these charms. This is pattern index 1. I don't even know how this thing exists right now, to be honest with you, but it's absolutely crazy that one of them exists. And to me, it's not really shocking. It sold for $820. So there is going to be some insane collectors for super rare pattern IDs like 1 or 100,000 or like 99999, crazy stuff like that. People are probably going to overpay quite a bit. And I do think stuff like this, because it is so insanely rare, is going to maintain value, because it is literally a 1 in 100,000 pull. I mean, technically all the pattern IDs are, but this is just, people are going to want pattern ID 1 and probably pattern ID 100,000 as well. But the thing is, we're getting kind of deep in the weeds with these charms into long-term what's actually going to have high demand. And another thing, like I talked about with the Hot Wars earlier on, I don't really think, like, that doesn't look that different. Same with the Hot Howl. Sure, or is it called the Hot Howl? This is called the Hot Howl. You could get it to be orange or like darker reddish orange, I guess we could consider it. Long term, I don't really think there's going to be people paying more for something like this. Now, there is some exceptions. For example, the semi-precious charm. You can legitimately get at least three completely different colors with this thing. You could get dark blue, light blue. You could get emerald. Blues, some of them seem to kind of get overpaid, but these are kind of the patterns in the middle. I don't know what the max blue pattern is for this thing. I'm not even sure somebody has crunched the numbers on it yet, to be completely honest with you guys, because I feel like I would have seen it by now. But the thing is, with charms like this, with completely different colors. They look completely different. You could get emerald patterns, stuff like that. I think long term, this stuff will get overpaid. Will it be worth $1,400 for a pattern 4,800? Is that a 3 or an 8? I can't tell. 4,862? No, I don't think the overpay is going to be that much. Now, if we talk about extremes like pattern IDs maybe less than 1,000 or between 99,000 and 100,000, I think long term there's going to be a lot of collectors for that because they are super rare. They are the pretty much most extreme color that you could get for that charm or the rarest pattern, whatever it may be. For the most part, this is just my thoughts, to be honest with you guys. I could be wrong, but with stuff like the semi-precious where you're getting legitimately completely different colors compared to the Hot Howl or something where, I mean, things don't look that different, I think if something is drastically changing colors, you could get a purple one with the semi-precious. I think that's going to get more overpaid than typical. Do I think it's going to be worth $300 or something long term? No, I think there's still too much supply. Let's see. Once again, I think I said it was between 80,000 and 100,000. Oh, it's actually a... that's not really purple, though. So we'll just say 80,000 to 100,000 of these. 1 in 5 of these semi-preciouses coming into existence are purple. So will they have massive, extreme, like 3 times overpay compared to, you know, the green and the blue ones? No, I don't think so. Will they be worth a little bit more? Yeah. So how do you exactly value this? I think if you could get them at market price as we get deeper into the Armory update, not yet because I still think everything is too expensive, but deeper in, if you could place buy orders for these things and get like purple ones at market price because people really don't know what they're worth right now, and still there's going to be a ton of people quick selling them when they haven't really checked the actual patterns, sure, I think you can make money from that. The semi-precious is one example. There's a couple other examples I want to go over. The die-cast AK is another example, but all in all, I just want to say why I'm saying to wait with these as well. Sure, I think there's going to be patterns worth more than other ones, but at the same time, this is only a purple. I believe that means it's around a 20% chance of pulling one, since it's around an 80% chance for these, and then 20%, and then like a 3%, and then 0.64%, if I'm remembering correctly. So all in all, pulling an AK is not that rare when you have this many people that are going to be spending ridiculous amounts of stars for a very long time. And let's just say there's a 15% chance or so at any given pattern, like a blue one, a gold one, stuff like that. I think the only ones that are going to get extreme overpay in long term are super rare pattern IDs, like 1, for example, but good luck sniping something like that. And it's impossible to say what something like that is going to be worth long term because it's such a collector's item and 99% of people don't care if it's pattern ID 1 or not. But stuff I do think will have value long term is these charms that have uniquely different colors. Not your Hot Howls or your Hot Dogs that don't really change that much, but changing an AK from gold to red to blue, I don't think the pink one or orange one is necessarily going to have a ton of overpay. I don't think we're going to see very many of these have extreme demand in the long term. The only ones that really catch my eye are this die-cast AK. This Mac 10 is pretty cool because it does change colors a lot as well, and then of course these semi-precious. Stuff like these M4s, it does change. I actually have one of these. I don't know, I don't have that one. I have this one. The hollow effect changes on it, but it changes from like yellow to blue. I don't think you're going to get people massively overpaying for stuff like that. But long term, with these charms, I think the super rare patterns, like these red AKs, these max red AKs, I believe the max red pattern is somewhere around 21.5 to like 22 or 22.5. So max red patterns around there, I think are going to sell for a lot more. Obviously, nobody could say exactly what a 16,000 or an 18,000 versus a 20,000 is going to sell for because, well, I guess they do look a lot different. I do think these are going to have demand long term. But either way, I would wait. If you want to make money with these, I would say place buy orders on the Steam market or any market. Well, probably not third-party sites because people are way more likely to know what they have. But if you got Steam balance, just place some buy orders for these and hope you could snipe them because there's a very good chance you could get a red pattern or something like that that gets overpay on a third-party site. But I still think right now there's too much supply that is going to come into the game. I think people are going to stray away from these Deagles as there's over 120,000 of them. People are always going to go to cases as safe haven. But right now, the highest ROI, and it has been since the beginning, since these things were listed on the market, are the charms. And right now it's a small arms charms. Even though the collections are still good, people are going to be unboxing those for definitely a while longer. The charms are #1 and #2 right now. So you're going to see a lot of people putting money into these, and stars are going to keep coming into the game consistently for a very long time. So don't feel rushed. I know you want to feel rushed and just get some rare patterns at the beginning and stuff like that, but unless you're just placing buy orders on the market, hoping you get something good and selling it, even then, I think that's pretty high risk, and I wouldn't even go with something like that right now. But super long term, I think whenever these things get removed from the game, they're absolutely going to have their value. A lot of them have pretty much found a floor in price for the moment. You got to keep in mind there still isn't that. There's 33,000 requests to buy them, but there isn't that many listed on the market right now, and they're going to be slowly but surely piling up as demand falls off over the next few weeks, next few months. Hopefully not the next year, as Valve hopefully removes these from the game before then. But as I've said with everything relating to this, be ready to hold stuff for an extremely long period of time, especially this early on, since we don't know if things... Well, they're probably going to go lower. That's the safest bet anybody could make. A 250% ROI on these. People are just going to keep buying more and more passes since it's so profitable, and that's going to keep dropping down more and more. So there's going to be a lot of rare patterns coming into existence. I do think for stuff like the AK, and I always forget the name of this, the semi-precious, I do think like the green ones, the super green ones like the emeralds, and the dark purple ones closer to 100,000 are going to be worth more long term. But don't be in too much of a rush to buy them. Just keep that in mind, is what I would say, and is what I'm doing. So as always, thanks to Skins Monkey for sponsoring. Check them out. Free $5 bonus, link at the top of the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.